Nectar of Devotion by Srila Rupa Goswami, translated by Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 8. Offenses to be Avoided. In the supplementary Vedic literature, there is the following list of 32 offenses in the matter of serving the Lord. 1. One should not enter the temple of the deity in a car or palanquin, or with shoes on the feet. 2. One should not fail to observe the various festivals for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such as Janmāṣṭamī and Ratha-yātrā. 3. One should not avoid bowing down before the deity. 4. One should not enter the temple to worship the Lord without having washed one's hands and feet after eating. 5. One should not enter the temple in a contaminated state. According to Vedic scripture, if someone dies in the family, the whole family becomes contaminated for some time according to its status. For example, if the family is Brahmana, their contamination period is 12 days. For the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, it is 15 days. And for the Shudras, 30 days. 6. One should not bow down on one hand. 7. One should not circumambulate in front of Sri Krishna. The process of circumambulating the temple is that one should begin circumambulating from the deity's right-hand side of the temple and come around. Such a circumambulation should be performed outside the temple structure at least 3 times daily. 8. One should not spread his legs before the deity. 9. One should not sit before the deity holding the ankles, elbows, or knees with one's hands. In other words, you should observe the proper sitting posture. 10. One should not lie down before the deity of Krishna. 11. One should not accept prasada before the deity. 12. One should never speak a lie before the deity. 13. One should not talk very loudly before the deity. 14. One should not talk with others before the deity. 15. One should not cry or howl before the deity. 16. One should not quarrel or fight before the deity. 17. One should not chastise anyone before the deity. 18. One should not be charitable to beggars before the deity. 19. One should not speak very harshly to others before the deity. 20. One should not wear a fur blanket before the deity. 21. One should not eulogize or praise anyone else before the deity. 22. One should not speak any ill names before the deity. 23. One should not pass air before the deity. 24. One should not fail to worship the deity according to one's means. In Bhagavad-gītā it is stated that the Lord is satisfied if some devotee offers him even a leaf or a little water. This formula prescribed by the Lord is universally applicable, even for the poorest man. But that does not mean that one who has sufficient means to worship the Lord very nicely should also adopt this method and try to satisfy the Lord simply by offering water and a leaf. If he has sufficient means, he should offer nice decorations, nice flowers, and nice foodstuffs and observe all ceremonies. It is not that one should try to satisfy the Supreme Lord with a little water and a leaf, and for himself spend all his money in sense gratification. 25. One should not eat anything which is not offered first to Krishna. 26. One should not fail to offer fresh fruit and grains to Krishna according to the season. 27. After food has been cooked, no one should be offered any foodstuff until it is first offered to the deity. 28. One should not sit with his back toward the deity. 29. One should not offer obeisances to the spiritual master silently. Or in other words, one should recite aloud the prayers to the spiritual master while offering obeisances. 30. one should not fail to offer some praise in the presence of the spiritual master. 31. One should not praise himself before the spiritual master. 32. One should not deride the demigods before the deity. This is a list of 32 offenses. Besides these, there are a number of offenses which are mentioned in the Varaha Purana. They are as follows. 1. One should not touch the deity in a dark room. 2. One should not fail to strictly follow the rules and regulations in worshipping the deity. 3. One should not enter the temple of the deity without first making some sound. 4. One should not offer any foodstuff to the deity which has been seen by dogs or other lower animals. 5. One should not break silence while worshipping. 6. One should not pass urine or evacuate while engaged in worshipping. 7. One should not offer incense without offering some flower. 8. Useless flowers without any fragrance should not be offered. 9. One should not fail to wash his teeth very carefully every day. 10. One should not enter the temple directly after sexual intercourse. 11. One should not touch a woman during her menstrual period. 12. One should not enter the temple after touching a dead body. 13. One should not enter the temple wearing garments of red or blue color, or garments which are unwashed. 14. One should not enter the temple after seeing a dead body. 15. One should not pass air within the temple. 16. One should not be angry within the temple. 17. One should not enter the temple after visiting a crematorium. 18. One should not belch before the deity. So, until one has fully digested his food, he should not enter the temple. 19. One should not smoke marijuana or ganja. 20. One should not take opium or similar intoxicants. 21. One should not enter the deity room or touch the body of the deity after having smeared oil over his body. 22. One should not show disrespect to a scripture teaching about the supremacy of the Lord. 23. One should not introduce any opposing scripture. 24. One should not chew betel before the deity. 25. One should not offer a flower which was kept in an unclean pot. 26. One should not worship the Lord while sitting on the bare floor. One must have a sitting place or carpet. 27. One should not touch the deity before one has completed taking bath. 28. One should not decorate his forehead with the three-lined tilak. That tilak is for Shiva worshippers and impersonalists. 29. One should not enter the temple without washing his hands and feet. By the way, all of these offenses discussed in this chapter, I think, let me see, yeah, so far anyway, these are in reference to deity worship or temple worship. And it sounds like a lot. Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do all these different things. But actually, it's very simple if you understand Lord Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad-gītā on the three modes of material nature. Basically, all of these offenses can be summed up by saying, don't be in the mode of passion or ignorance. Be in the mode of goodness when you enter the temple or when you perform worship in the temple. Now, there's two levels of participation in the temple. One is as a congregational member, and another is as the temple priest. So naturally, actually these instructions kind of mix up those two levels, and they don't separate them out very clearly. But of course, the standard of cleanliness and proper behavior is much higher for the sevaka, or the brahmana priests, than for simply guests coming into the temple and like that. Still, the purport of all these instructions is that one should be proper in his behavior, clean, both inside and outside, and he should avoid the modes of passion and ignorance, even while not in the temple, but especially when coming into the temple. One should be in the mode of goodness, clean, pure, simple, and respectful, humble, like that. When one is in the mode of goodness, then he doesn't create any offense. So, to continue, other rules are that one should not offer foodstuff which is cooked by a non-Vaishnava. One should not worship the deity before a non-devotee. And one should not engage himself in the worship of